No matter how well you design a character in a multiplayer game, there is always going to be at least one aspect about them that's annoying. But in Deadlock, there are quite a few characters that have many annoying aspects, and today I'm making a tier list. Now, do keep in mind, the tier list is just my opinion, but I do always have the correct opinion on any subject I talk about, so just keep that in mind. And also, this is an annoying character tier list. This isn't a good character tier list. Like, for example, I can tell you right now, Great Talon is going to be quite high up in this list. But if I was making a good character tier list, Talon would probably be on like the lower half of that list. So just because I find the character annoying doesn't mean I think they're good. So if you mean an annoying character, I'm not calling them like super broken or super easy. I'm just saying that I hate playing against them. And with that said, let's go over the tiers real quick and we'll jump right into it. So at the bottom, we got meh, means I don't really mind them. Then situationally frustrating, pretty self-explanatory. Annoying when ahead means that, like, if they're fed or their team is winning, the character can be pretty annoying. But for the most part, usually wouldn't mind it. If we're all like on the same level of farm, they wouldn't be too bad. Pissed off means characters in this tier will usually make me at least not have a super fun time. And at the very top, we've got kill me. I want to die if I'm playing against this character. All right, without further ado, let's start. We'll just do alphabetical order. So we got Abrams. Now Abrams, if you asked me like maybe a month or two ago, I would have had like maybe in pissed off, maybe here. But honestly, he's not really that bad anymore. And here's the thing that I hate the most about Abrams. It's not his shoulder charge. It's not his passive that makes him take like 0 damage. It's actually his gun damage. His gun damage is insane, like the entire game pretty much. Anytime I play this character, if melee isn't my top damage, it's gun damage. It does so much. You guys know that saying, it's not the fall that kills you, it's the landing? It should be changed to, it's not the shoulder charge into melee that kills you, it's the gunshot right after, because sometimes it actually does more than the melee. It is so insane. But other than that, I don't really mind this character anymore. I used to think he was super tanky and it was like so hard to deal with. But what sets Abrams aside from a character like Shiv or something is that Shiv's bloodletting it doesn't count as healing. So anti-heal doesn't affect it. Abrams is 3. Counts as healing. So if you get toxic bullets and heal bane, he's gonna be more tanky than most people, but it's not gonna be like as bad as I used to think it was. You can also get decay too if he's really that tanky and you're having that much trouble with him. But for the most part, I don't really mind him anymore. Next up, I know some people will want this character to be in Kill Me. Oh shoot. And Kill Me, Bebop. I don't think Bebop is that bad. I'll put him in annoying when ahead. Here's the thing about Bebop. Everyone complains about Hook. Hook's very annoying. But what I think is the bigger problem is his punch. Low-key, this ability is completely stupid. They've nerfed it like 5 times in a row and it still sucks to go against. So imagine this. You get hooked by Bebop, he puts his bomb on you, and then he goes to punch you away into tower. Imagine if that punch wasn't there. He hooks you, he puts a bomb on you, and then like half of the characters in this game can just easily get away at that point. If you have E-Shift, if you have Warp Stone, you can just get out of that situation, you'll be fine. But if he has punch, especially early game, and he just punches you into tower, you're probably just dead, dude. Unless you're playing like Pocket or something. There's nothing you can do against that. Not to mention, he has like 50% weapon damage if he upgrades his one to level 2. And also, I think it's supposed to be parryable, but it's just not. I don't know if it's a bug. I don't know if they reverted it without putting it in patch notes or something, but you can't even parry it. It doesn't work, I swear. Like, I swear it used to work. I swear it did, but it just doesn't work anymore. And that's by far his most annoying ability. His ultimate's kind of good early game, but it just falls off super late game. Like, I've had times where I'll be shooting at a Bebop in his ult, and he's ulting me back, and I'm winning the fight. His ult late game is just kind of trash low-key unless you build around it. Next up, we have Calico, and I'm gonna put her at the very top of pissed off. I don't think anyone else is gonna overtake her in this tier. She's not quite in Kill Me, and I think the only reason is because her actual base kit isn't that bad. It's just her current state right now she's just super broken. Obviously, the biggest one everyone knows is Leaping Slash. She'll hit you once with that ability, and she'll go from 10% health until like 500% health. She'll go over the max HP. She heals so much from that, and especially if you build something like Life Strike, and it does so much damage. It's really good for escaping. It's on a low cooldown. It's just it's an extremely broken ability right now, like straight up, and I don't think anyone's gonna argue against that. Her cat can be annoying sometimes, especially if she has like Torment Pulse, Cold Front, Alchemical Fire. She's just like going in, being annoying. Also, I don't know if this is a bug, but if you go into her cat, after a few seconds, you just get your entire stamina bar back. So that's always fun. And she also moves super fast during the cat, which would be annoying enough on its own, but she has an ultimate that acts as E-Shift, except you can move. So you have her cat, you have Leaping Slash, and you have her ultimate. Build that with Warp Stone, Superior Stamina, and like E-Shift, and you're just never dying. I swear you just can't kill this character if the Calico knows what they're doing. She'll heal so much, she'll have so much movement. Her ult is on like a 40-second cooldown if you make it to late game. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. This character pisses me off, but I think her base design isn't that bad. A couple number of tweaks, and I think she'll be okay to go against. I don't think she's all the way up and kill me. Next up, we got Dynamo. I swear nobody plays this character anymore. I really don't have that much trouble against them. I do see people build either gun Dynamo or kinetic pulse Dynamo, which actually freaking hurts, dude. Like, this character's supposed to be a tank or something. Nah. Play against somebody that's building kinetic pulse or gun damage, and he will freaking hurt. And that can be kind of annoying. And Quantum Pulse can be pretty annoying too. But like, I don't know, man. Like, even with his ult, maybe I just don't play against enough good Dynamos or just enough Dynamos anymore. But I don't struggle against this character anymore. If you get anti-heal, his 3's kind of useless. I mean, it does give pretty good movement speed. You can get knocked down for his ult unless he gets unstoppable or something. There's also just characters like Ivy that just hard counter his ult, which is on like a 3-minute cooldown now by default. Even if you get superior cooldown, it goes down to like 160 or something. Yeah, I used to kind of find him annoying. Maybe I would have put him here like a month ago, but right now he's just, I don't see him very often. Next up, I told you he was going to be high up in this video or earlier in the video. Talon. The only reason he's not in Kill Me is because I think Talon's a little bad right now. I don't think he's like unplayable or anything, but I just don't think he's the best. But let's start with why he's annoying. So Charge Shot is bad enough on its own, like the concept of the ability. He can poke you so much in laning phase. It can be on a very low cooldown once he gets rapid recharge. It does a ton of damage. It has like a huge power spike compared to other abilities in like the mid game. One of my least favorite things about this ability is that the hitbox is just not consistent. I'll have an image up on screen right now. This was before they nerfed it, to be fair. They actually made the hitbox a little more consistent, but it still kind of sucks to go against. This ability will just clearly not hit you sometimes, and the game says it hits you anyway. So that can be pretty frustrating. His trap is a little annoying. It's not too bad. If he throws it into your tower, you kind of have to keep maneuvering around it, but you know, it doesn't last forever, and you can still move and dash and parry and do stamina stuff if you walk into it. So I don't think it's that annoying. Flight can be kind of annoying too, because this character has 4 stamina, I think. So he has a lot more movement in the air than say like Vindicta or something. And obviously the poke from it early game is just annoying. I don't even think it's that crazy. It is just annoying. Maybe it's because I play Infernus, and you obviously can't flame dash him if he's all the way up in the air. So maybe it's just a matchup thing. But yeah, this character can really piss me off sometimes. I haven't even mentioned Owl yet. Yeah, Owl is really stupid. So you can be on one lane, on like either the left or the right lane, and then a teammate across the map is like, hey, this guy's low. You send an Owl from the safety of your tower all the way to that lane. You get a kill, and then you get rewarded for it. You get permanent magic power if you kill somebody with Guided Owl. And it's like, I don't understand what I'm supposed to do in that situation. Just not exist on the map, I guess. Like, what if I guess if you have Pocket or something, you can briefcase, or if you have Viscious, you can go in cube. But a lot of Talons are actually I'm dying. A lot of Talons are actually smart enough that they'll fake their owl. They'll look like they're gonna go right into you, and then they'll wait for you to use your ability, and then they'll explode after you get out of it. But all that being said, I don't really think Talon's broken or anything. He just kind of sucks to play against. Another character that I think I would have had really high up, like up here, like a month ago maybe, it would be Haze. Right now I'd say she's kind of here. I don't know, maybe Haze players are just trash. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case, but she's really not as annoying as I used to find her. Like, obviously if she's ahead, she can just completely carry the team, and if she gets unstoppable, there's really not much you can do against an unstoppable Haze when she's fed. But that's honestly way more rare than it used to be. I think the most annoying part about this character right now is her sleep dagger, and I'm not saying that lightly. I hate sleep dagger. It also has a hitbox issue, and you know, it can last like 3 seconds, maybe 4 seconds. Also, for some reason, the wake up time scales with spirit. So if you have a spirit build, people will take like an extra like 0.3 seconds to wake up. Doesn't sound like a lot. It can like make the difference between being shredded by her ult or making it out. Also, the Hazes that build Echo Shard and then use double sleep dagger and also buy slowing hex, I really hope that the next time you go to work or something, you're late because your car won't start. I don't want to say anything meaner than that, but yeah, if you build that, shame on you, bro. Shame on you. It's evil. It's not even good. You're just being evil. All right, next up, Holiday going straight into pissed off. So again, this could just be because Holiday is very good right now. She hasn't been, you know, adequately nerfed even after this last patch. But just to summarize things real quick, Barrel is Lash's ground slam on like a 3-second cooldown. It does almost as much damage. It actually does more damage, assuming the Lash isn't, you know, raining from the stars. It'll consistently do more damage than ground slam. It has a knock up for some reason. It's up all the time, and she can do it safely, completely safely. She could be up in the air like 20 meters away from you and just throw that barrel at you. If it hits you, it does like 400 damage early game, like GG. Okay. Jump pad. If she gets warp stone, or even if she knows how to do it, there's a little tech with Holiday where if you dash, I think as you're going on a jump pad, or maybe right before, but I think it's as you're doing it, you won't go all the way up in the air, so you can land again really quickly. Yeah, so that does a good amount of damage, but it also stuns for some reason, so that's awesome. So you can do bounce pad into barrel, so double CC, stun into knockup. And then her third ability, crack shot, not only does it have no fall off, and not only does it scale with spirit for some reason, even though it should be doing gun damage, it should scale with gun damage, but it also slows. So Holiday, let's say she has warp stone, hits a jump pad from like across the map, and while she's landing, warp stone's on you, now you're stunned, she hits you with a barrel, now you're in the air, she lands a free headshot because you're in the middle of a knockup, and you're at this point, you're at least at like 30 or 40% health, unless you've built good armor. That's not even considering the fact she might have like cold front or something. After all that, let's say you somehow live, she has an ult that could just drag you across the map. You can actually use items during this ult, so if you have majestic leap or like warp stone or something, you can literally drag somebody across the lane as Holiday, and going on a jump pad extends the duration for some reason. I couldn't tell you why. So after all of that, you're probably dead, dude, unless the Holiday is trash, which a lot of Holiday players are, no offense. One of the only redeeming factors about this character is that she has base 2 stamina, which means she doesn't have the best movement, especially early game before she gets like superior stamina or something. But still, she can just she can be very annoying, does a lot of damage, has a lot of crowd control. But I think eventually she'll get nerfed into a more tolerable state. So that's why I'm not putting her in kill me. Next up is a completely biased take, but Infernus is meh. Now a lot of you are outraged right now. A lot of you are typing in the comments. Listen, I'm an Infernus main, and I'm not saying this because I think Infernus is weak or anything. I'm just saying I don't have trouble playing against Infernus, probably because I have so much time on him. I know how he works. I know what Infernus players will go for, but like if he's really that much of a problem, I just get debuff remover, which again, I don't play against an Infernus that's ever been like that much of a threat to me. When I play him, I'll do pretty decently, and I'll be like, I can see why the enemy team's upset. But you know, if you had Infernus in like here or here, I wouldn't blame you, but I just play him so much that I don't really ever have trouble going against them, even if he goes for something like Flame Dash Infuser, which is pretty annoying early game, I won't lie. But yeah, I just don't struggle against this character. Next up, we got Ivy. I don't know what happened to her, but she used to be super annoying because her gun damage was crazy. And I don't think I guess they nerfed overall gun damage, but now like any Ivy that builds gun, I swear to God, never does more than like 20k damage. I don't know what it is, but the best Ivies I see out there are the ones that get like Rescue Beam and build support. I would have put her way higher up not too long ago, but gun damage isn't that big of a problem. Statue can be annoying, but she's kind of stuck in place after she lands, so you can punish it if you're good enough. Her ult does really get on my nerves sometimes with that, like 3-4 second silence she gets when she maxes it out. That can be really annoying, like Loki. But other than that, I don't mind her too much. Here we got Kelvin, and I'm gonna say he's just short of being up here. The reason I find him so annoying is Arctic Beam into Infuser early game will just delete you. It doesn't make any sense. This character is obviously meant to be like a support healer. Yeah, Arctic Beam into Infuser, it completely deletes your health bar. But after that, his ult can kind of get on my nerves, but his main strength late game is healing, and if you get like Heal Bane and Toxic Bullets, it's not that big of an issue. It's honestly just his early game presence that's so oppressive. So that's why I'm thinking he's almost here, but not quite. He's like at the top of this tier. Lady Geist. When I first started this game, she would have needed a tier of her own, but now I'm just gonna put her in pissed off. So I don't think I need to explain why. Her 1 is on a constant like 6-second cooldown. Even early game, it's on a really, really short cooldown. And you know, when my movement was worse, I was just not able to dodge it. Sometimes if she's good now, I still won't be able to dodge it, but I'm pretty good about dodging it now early game. It does do a ton of damage for kind of no reason. Her 2, well, like I don't even know, is that the suck ability? Yeah, life drain can be pretty annoying too. She heals so much off of it, it's kind of crazy. Like the damage is like, oof, yeah, that hurts. Her healing is so insane off of that. And Malice, her 3, dude, she gets so much damage, and it's on like a 2-second cooldown, and it's just really, really annoying poke. And we haven't even gotten to her ult yet, which is like, if you're trying to chase a Geist and she turns a corner when she's low, what do you do? Do you follow her and lose the fight because now she's gonna be full health and you're gonna be at like 20% health? Or do you try to like bait her out and maintain enough to, like, I don't know, man. Her ult really gets on my nerve. I recently played against a Geist that had Refresher and then would ult twice. She would ult 2 people. If you're watching this, I'm gonna get demonetized, so I'm just not gonna say it, but you smell. That's as mean as I can get. So Geist really does piss me off. but not as much as she used to. Next up, we got Lash. It's literally in his lore that he's an asshole, so he's obviously gonna be at least pissed off. So Lash, ground slam, it really does hurt almost all the way up until late game. The thing about late game Lash is that you're usually ground slamming into a team now, so it's a bit more risky. But early game, he can just gank from a really high up building. He'll ground slam you. It'll do like 500 damage, and you'll be knocked up. So it's like, all right, that's cool. Yeah, this ability can really hurt. His grapple, his 2, whatever you want to call it, it can be kind of annoying, especially if you don't have a ton of movement early game, like you haven't bought your movement items yet, and you're just on a low movement character. You just won't be able to catch him. But you know, there's worse abilities. And then Flog, it does heal him a bit, but it's not the worst. When he does level it up and it gets to slow, it can be kind of annoying, and it actually does hurt a little bit. If he's building around it, it'll do like 400 damage or something, and it's really quick, but nothing compares to his ultimate. So the thing about Lash ultimate is if you build superior cooldown on it, it'll be on like a 70-second cooldown. This is a game-changing ultimate we're talking about, and it can go as low as 70 seconds with one 3k item or 4.25k item. That's a little much. I will say recently I've been buying E-Shift a bit more, and that's helped with his ultimate. But still, a good Lash is just ulting every time it's up, or even if they're getting just 2 people, you're just kind of dead, because if he gets a stun on his ultimate, you're stunned as he throws you, which means it gives him enough time to ground slam, which means it gives him enough time to flog, and by that point you're probably very close to death, especially if he has his team. You're just dead. But I've seen so many games where, you know, the one team is ending, they've got like 4 or 5 people on the weakened patron. Lash respawns, majestic leap, ults 4 or 5 of them into base, and then now the game is winnable. So, but like I said, E-Shift has been helping with this character. You might be watching this and thinking, oh, just get knocked down, bro. No, that's silly. You want to get knocked down for like Vindicta or Talon. The thing about Lash is if you use knockdown on him, he still has enough time to throw you. Maybe he doesn't have enough time to ground slam afterwards, but he has enough time to ult. And also, if you're gonna get knocked down, the Lash can just get debuff remover. And you might be thinking, well, debuff remover, that's 4.25k, that's positive elixir trade, bro. No, dude, debuff remover is already a really good item. You're just giving the Lash a reason to build it. Yeah, if you want to counter Lash, get E-Shift. If his ultimate's really bothering you, don't get knocked down. Next, we got McGinnis. This character's kind of trash, bro. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, she's still, like, turrets are still kind of annoying. Her wall still kind of pisses me off. If McGinnis makes it to late game with gun build, she might be able to be useful. I might actually move her up. Nah, I was gonna move her up just because McGinnis players love to split push and just be useless, but I'm not gonna judge the character off of that. Yeah, if she was like good, she might be higher up just because turrets on wall are just really annoying, and if she has a gun build, that can also piss me off, but the character's just not good right now if you ask me, dude. Now we got Mirage. He's gonna go in annoying when I had. I've been playing him a bit more. He's kind of fun actually, but I think like one of the worst things about him is Tornado. Tornado is basically a get out of jail free card, because not only is it almost instant, they actually changed it recently, so it's not exactly instant, but not only is it almost instant, anybody hit by it is stuck in the air for like a second, and you get so much movement off of it. And if he's using this aggressively, then you're just dead, because he gets to land scarabs on you, and scarabs make it so you take more bullet damage, and then you're just dead. Gent Mark is also pretty annoying, because, you know, there's been times where I've like made it out of a fight with like 400 health, and I'm like, yeah, bro, I made it out. And then he pops his 8 stacks of the Gent on me, and I'm just dead. I was like, oh, that's heat. So that can be kind of annoying. If a Mirage is ahead, he can easily carry, and he can kind of be unstoppable. The last thing, his ult doesn't really bother me that much. Sure, it's kind of like, oh, you know, I'm split pushing a walker, and it was a super smart play for me to do that. The Mirage can fix his bad movement, his bad awareness by just teleporting to me. But I don't know. It's not like he teleports to you and instantly kills you. You still have to fight him. You get a chance to kill him. But, you know, if he's under walker with Tornado, yeah, he's just never dying. But I like him with annoying when ahead. He might be more annoying than Haze, but yeah, I'm not sure. He just belongs in this tier. All right, next up, we got the first character going and kill me, and that's Mo and Krill. I've been playing this character a lot actually, because they're super fun. But anytime I play against them, I actually just want to end it all. So before we even get to the abilities, Mo and Krill has crazy gun gun damage. Why? I have no idea, but I think early game, they actually have the potential to have like one of the highest DPS in the game with just gun damage. So this character, like just off the bat, that's insane. Then we got Scorn, which heals you for so much early game, even late game if they don't get anti-heal. It heals you for so much. It's on a super short cooldown, so you can kind of spam it. Like if I'm trying to play a little aggressive against a Mo and Krill or something, they're like 20% HP. They'll like dash towards me, press 1, and then like they'll heal up to 40%, maybe even more if my teammate's in that. So that ability is kind of crazy. Burrow, he has to get it to tier 2 for Burrow to be like super annoying, but if he does get it to tier 2, it just does your entire health, I swear to God. Like how much DPS do you get from tier 2? I'll have it up on screen, but you get a ton of DPS. It also knocks you up for some reason, so I don't know why. Don't take that out of context. So knocks you up, does a ton of damage. His 3 Sandblast is like a 3-second disarm at the start of the game. I don't understand why, dude. If he builds duration, which he should be on Mo and Krill, it can be like 4 or 5 seconds, dude. It's legitimately insane, and you can get so many steals with it early game if you know what you're doing. Like when they're about to kill a minion, you hit them with your Sandblast and you just steal orbs. Sure, you might think, oh, that's just like super situational, dude, but there's so many times where I'll be playing a gun character. I play a lot of Infernus and Mirage, so they hit me with their 3, and then I'm just like, oh, I can't use like my major abilities for 3-4 seconds, which is more than enough time for someone to live. And obviously can't forget his ult, where it's on like a 60-70 second cooldown. If you get cooldown reduction, it's like 40 seconds, and yeah, it's basically a free kill every time. You can use Scorn during it. If you have one teammate with you, that person's just dead. And if you do kill them, you get 70 permanent HP. Doesn't sound like a lot. No, that's insane. I've seen Mo and Krills get like 1000 bonus HP, and you know, it's so insane to deal with. The character becomes so tanky, and it's just, I want to kill myself when I'm playing against them. Like the ultimate literally rewards you on using it on someone that's like 10 HP. Like most ults in the game, you'll see somebody use an ult on someone that's like 10%, 20% HP and be like, oh, that was kind of a waste. That was unnecessary. With Mo and Krill, it's actively encouraged that you get a kill with this ult. So if you see somebody low, you press 4, you press Scorn, they're probably dead. If you built Torment +2, it'll do like 300, 400 extra damage. If you build a chemical flask, Jesus Christ, dude, don't even get me started. Yeah, this character's going and kill me. And honestly, so is the next one. Paradox, pretty much the same reason as Mo and Krill. The thing is, imagine Bebop hook if Bebop was guaranteed to hit it. That's Paradox. Because her 3, her kinetic carbine is completely instant, so it doesn't travel like you know how you normally shoot the bullets travel. It's literally point and click. You hit somebody with it, they're stuck in place for a second, and then you ult them, and your ult's on like a 40. So it can get really low. It can get down to like a 30-second cooldown. You do have to put yourself in a bad position, but if you're building tank, which every smart Paradox does, and you're really not. If you have Diviner's Kevlar, you're really not in a bad position. Warpstone, you're chilling. The person you hit though is not chilling. What a lot of Paradoxes will do is that when they hit a kinetic carbine, they'll very quickly put Time Wall and Bomb down at their feet. So when you ult them, they get hit by Time Wall and get hit by Bomb too. Now Bomb is already kind of insane on its own. It gives her a ton of damage amp, especially if she gets Echo Shard and she gets to use 2 of them. But Time Wall silences you when you max it out, and I don't like that. In fact, I would say that I hate it. Like you'll see a lot of Bebops, they'll build Hook and Silence Glyph. Paradox just has that base kit, and her ult is so much easier to hit. I think she's consistently one of the most picked and banned characters in like super high level gameplay. So yeah, I really don't like her because of her ability to just pick somebody off that's not even in a bad position. It's not like Mo and Krill, where I'm gonna move her higher. It's not like Mo and Krill where they gotta get close to you, they gotta like stand in place, or you have to be overextended or something. You could be chilling, the Paradox could have like Mystic Reach or something, and she'll be able to snipe you from across the map, and you'll want to end it all, just like me. Next up, yeah, this character, dude. So Barrage is kind of insane, guys. I don't know if you know this, but Barrage gives you a ton of damage amp. That's probably the least offensive thing about this character. He's got a ghost ability that he can put out beforehand, go in, engage, do a ton of burst damage, and then teleport to the ghost and he's out. He's got his briefcase, which also does a ton of damage, but it gives you like 2 to 3 seconds, maybe it's less, but it's like 2 to 3 seconds where you can't be hit at all, you can't be crowd controlled, and late game, it gets down to like an 8-second cooldown, bro. Pair this with E-Shift, Warpstone, dude. dude, you're just a lot of good pockets just never die because they always have a way out. They always have Ghost, they always have Briefcase, and with a couple more items, you'll just never die. And let me not even mention his ult, dude. So if you guys want to know if a pocket is good or not, after the game ends, go to the post game thing and look at damage dealt by type. If Affliction is his highest damage dealt, that means he was garbage. That means all he was doing was warp stoning in or jumping in, ulting, ghosting, getting out, and it gets to do a ton of damage because Affliction is a little silly and will do like, it'll do 500 damage early game if you have like no items. Late game it can do like 1600. It'll completely gut your healing. They just made it so Mystic Reverb doesn't proc off of it, so thank God, but that was the thing before. So yeah, everything about this character pisses me off. I can never kill this guy. That's not true actually. A lot of the pocket does have a base kit minus 15% spirit resist. I think that's the only character with a minus spirit resist just by default. So he can take a little bit more damage, but a lot of pockets build cold front and that gives you spirit resist for God knows why. Next up, 7 would have been in meh like maybe a month ago, but now he's honestly pissed off, dude. So I think the character just got more popular because I just see him so much more often now, and playing against a good 7, good in quotes, they'll just spam their stun grenade on you, and it sucks. It makes me want to die. It's literally, it's just annoying. It's not even good. Most of the time 7 players will just put their stun down on you and not follow up off of it at all. They're just trying to like poke you for 60-50 damage and just trying to annoy you. With that being said, Lightning Ball's kind of annoying. Power Surge is kind of annoying. His ult makes me just wanna... I need to stop saying that. But 7's ult does so much damage. He has that relatively new Lightning Strike ability. It wasn't always there. And he can also move during his ultimate now. There's been games where I've looked at the post-game damage chart where I've been super low the entire game of 7, but then you look at my graph, freaking spike up because I used one ult in their base and I did like 10k damage. I'm not exaggerating. This ult does so much. If the 7 builds unstoppable, he's unstoppable, bro. That's what the item says. If he has Spirit Lifesteal, Leech, Healing Booster, dude, he's just, yeah, his ult can be super oppressive sometimes, and you know, you can get knocked down, but most 7s just build unstoppable anyway. So really does get on my nerves a lot. It didn't always used to do that, but I think just 7's being played a lot more now and people know how to abuse him better. So he's pretty annoying. Yeah. Oh, Shiv. Yeah. So Shiv has basically never been in a healthy state, if you ask me. You guys remember melee Shiv? So if you don't know, there was a melee Shiv build, and the whole premise of the build was that Shiv never died. And I'm not exaggerating, dude. This was like in November or October or something. It did get patched out, thankfully. But you know, from there was like a return fire Shiv was really broken for a long time. And now we've got knife Shiv. So if you don't know what knife Shiv is, the Shiv builds decay and duration and like rapid recharge. And he just spams you with knives and decay, and it can do like 1.5k damage. And again, I don't think it's super broken. It's meant to just piss me off because the constant tick of the knives, it actually makes me furious. Yeah, it obviously gets countered by debuff remover if the Shiv really is that much of a problem, but just the character himself, dude. Bloodletting, the concept behind bloodletting is that you take less damage and they can't really do much about it. So I hate that ability. Slice and Dice can do crazy damage if the Shiv has a maxed out rage because it procs twice. So early game, I'm not even kidding, it can do like, I think 600 damage or something. And when I say early game, I mean like actually laning phase early game. It can totally shred you. And you know, his execute can be a bit annoying too, but there's been worse, if you ask me. I also just realized this video is getting really long. It's like 30 minutes unless I, you know, do some crazy editing. So I'm gonna try and wrap these few up. Sinclair, relatively new character. I'm gonna put him here. He can have really crazy damage early game. Rabbit Hex is kind of annoying, but that's about it. Most Sinclairs I know kind of suck and struggle to maintain relevant late game. Vindicta, please. Oh my god, dude. She used to be here, but they actually have been nerfing her a lot. So her stake can like actually root you in place for like 3 seconds, and this is a DPS character. That ability is like Warden's Claw, which is already really good, but it's just better because it's instant. You'll always hit it. You can hit multiple people with it, and it holds them in place forever. A lot of Vindictas will get stake into Alchemical Fire, and they'll just do so much damage because Alch Fire also makes your gun do more damage, and Alch Fire itself does a ton of damage. And there's some Vindictas out there too that get Echo Shards, so they could stake you twice in a row. You need to go outside, bro. You need to go on D.com. I'm just kidding. Not really. Next up is Viscious. I don't know where Viscious goes. I'm maybe have him up here. I don't like that he basically has like 2 chances to live because he's got his cube and then he's got his ultimate, which gives him insane resistance. But he's not as bad as I used to think he was because I've gotten better at parrying his goo punches, which you can parry, by the way, if you didn't know that. And he's also just relatively difficult, so I don't see that many good Visciouses anymore. But if I'm playing against somebody with like 100 games on this character, he would be like up here. He's really difficult to deal with, but for the most part, I would say he's just situationally frustrating. Vyper is annoying when ahead, like many gun characters, pretty self-explanatory. She used to be like all the way out of this world when she came out, but she's not as bad anymore. A lot of Vipers, maybe a lot of Vipers just suck, but she's only, I'm gonna actually put her at the top of this tier. She can be pretty annoying. I've seen a lot of Vipers completely carry because they get ahead and they can erase you in half a second, but she's aight. Oh, next up we got Wraith, dude. So Wraith is also one of the top characters right now from what I understand in terms of like high level gameplay. Full auto gives her a ton of DPS. Her teleport's really good. Cards can hurt a lot, but you know, most Wraiths don't really build card anymore. But I think her ultimate is almost a 4-second silence and disarm by default. I'm not joking. It's like 3.5 or something. That is unbelievably frustrating to go against. Not to mention the animation. So there's a little animation when you get hit by it. You go up in the air, you slam down, and then you can't attack at all for 3.5 seconds. Actually, I think you can melee, but you can't shoot and you can't use abilities. That's already pretty annoying, but it's also on like a 60-second cooldown, and I don't understand why. This character is just not fun to play against ever. Then we got Warden. He's gonna be here. I'm taking slowing hex into account because every Warden and their mom built slowing hex. But ever since I've gotten a little better with my movement, I can get out of his claw easier. I build Hailbane a lot more now, so his ultimate's not as oppressive. And Alchemical Flask is just I mean, it gets rid of a stamina, which is pretty annoying, but that's kind of the whole character. I don't mind it as much as I used to. He can definitely, he's almost up here, honestly, because when a Warden's ahead, they're really freaking like brah. But for the most part, he's just situationally frustrating. And last but probably least, and by least I mean most, is Yamato. She's been getting nerfed to be fair, but yeah, this character, dude, power slash shreds you early game. Her hook can go completely through walls because, you know, why not? Like if she hits you with her hook when you're super far away and you put like 60 walls in between you, it doesn't matter. She'll just go straight through it. Her 3 erases your fire rate for some reason. I don't know why, but it's on like a 5-second cooldown. It just completely gets rid of your fire rate. And obviously her ult, you used to be unkillable during that thing, but now you just get a ton of resistance. Her ult super sucks, dude. All of her abilities, I think she just does more damage. She has more fire rate. Power slash is much faster. And a fed Yamato or a Yamato that knows what she is doing is just almost impossible to deal with. And also her right click, she has an ult fire and it's a little ball that explodes, and early game it can actually do like 60 damage from around the wall. It can hit around walls, around corners. It does so much poke, and yeah, just not a super fun character. And that pretty much wraps up the tier list. If you disagree, I'm sorry. I don't know what it's like to be wrong. But yeah, thank you for watching, everyone. Peace.